I am in my glory looking at this. Wow. Look at this. We're going to go up to 5,000 grit. Everything on this pistol is polished. Hey everyone, it's Louis Tuminaro and welcome back to the Custom Shop. Hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone for watching our videos. I have really enjoyed making these. A couple of videos ago, I posted that we were gonna take 3 Colts, and I wanted everyone to kind of write in and tell us which of the 3 Colts you wanted us to restore first. From reading all the comments, which thank you again, it looked like the Colt 1911 Competition 45 is the winner. So today what we're going to do is we're going to break down the 1911 Colt Competition in a 45 ACP. We're going to do a complete restoration on it. It's going to be a 2026 model. So just to give you guys like a little, you know, put something out there, I want to show you something. So what we have here is last year's model in a bright. All right, so we took this Colt Competition, and you know, this also is a 45. And what we're going to do is we are going to take the 2026 model with the new sights that Colt put on them. So what we're going to do, like we do all of our videos, is we're going to do a complete disassembly. We're going to sand it. We're going to spend a bunch of time in the polishing room. And then what we're going to do is show you guys just how beautiful this Colt Competition 1911 is going to look. Let's get started. All right, everyone. So we're going to start the disassembly on this Colt 1911. But first, I wanted to show everyone that this is a 100% new from Colt. Gun is clear, still has the flag in it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the slide off. Okay. Okay, we're going to take the sights off. I've never taken one of these off yet. Sure is a lot different for me to be working on a 1911. We do a lot of 1911s. Our gunsmiths normally do them. I do a lot of revolver, but this is fun. It's been a while. So you see how that mounts? So as everybody can see here, this is most likely about a 400 grit from what I'm looking at it. So what we're going to do is that this is a glass bead finish here. So what we're going to do is we are going to have to sand all this back down, polish this. Now what's super important about working on this gun here is this line. And I always call them a brake line. And we want to not damage this line whatsoever. Down here also. So all of this glass beading is going to get taken off, and we'll make this look like a mirror. Let's take the grips off. I probably could have done that first, but not a big deal. Okay. This over here is for the factory. This number over here is so that the factory can scan this number. I try to, when I'm doing these, is to try to peel them back the way that they came. Now I know this is anal of me to be doing this, but what I try to do, open this up. And the reason being is that I want to take it and just put it back on. So when the person gets their gun, you know, they get their gun just the way that it came from Colt. So we got it opened. I know I'll probably get a lot in the comments over this, but it's okay. And there we go. Took us a couple minutes. Not a big deal. Okay, so let's take this bottom end apart. Okay, that punch wasn't long enough, so now, there we go. This is nice. This is plastic. push this button in here, and there we go. All right, look at this. All right, guys, we have a bare frame here now. We have lots of glass beaded areas here. So what we're going to be doing is everything is going to have paper put to it and then to the polisher. But what I wanted to, and I didn't want to say anything until now, I'm noticing, and I knew this already, that like this is plastic. You see here? This is plastic. So what I'm going to do, just to make this gun a little bit different, okay, is I am going to take this aluminum trigger. I'm going to take this aluminum mainspring housing and polish it. And I'm going to take this mag well and the screw, and we're going to polish it. And then we're going to put these on the gun. All right, so now there's going to be no plastic parts on this gun. This pistol is going to look amazing. It's going to look even better than this one. Okay, and this one looks unbelievable. All right, because to me, when I look at this, like, I don't know. I don't want to see that. I want to see something shiny. Okay, everybody, so the pistol is completely disassembled. The only thing I have to do left is press this. When I go back up front, I have a press that will take out that sight with. But other than that, we have a lot of parts to sand and polish. Every single part has to be sanded. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out on the frame. I'm not knowing what paper I should start with, so let me just put a 320 grit on here, and let's just see what that does. It looks like we are taking the glass bead off. We're not staying in one spot on these rounds. We may have to go to 220 in some areas. So what we're going to do, though, is that we're going to do the sides of the pistol last. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to do the whole underside, and we'll do everything first and then we'll do the sides last. So as you guys can see, this is going to be a very long process. All right, guys, so we're going to take this front sight out of the dovetail. So I'm going to take this, and if you watch it, you see it? See it coming out? You gotta be really careful with these. It's coming. I wish they put a little bit of a bigger lip on this sight. Okay. And there we go. There's our sight. Undestroyed. Unmarked. Okay, so I got a lot of the glass beading off of the gun. I hit it with polish here just a little bit to see what it would come up like, and I think we're doing okay. Just got to do this little section in here and this little section in here, and then I've got to hit the sides. But I mean, this is a few hours just doing this right here. But you know, after a while, sometimes you get a little tired and you just kind of want to move on to maybe a different part. So I'm going to set this down. I'm going to pick up a few small parts, get my mind off this for a few minutes, and then probably after a few of the small parts, maybe I'll jump to the slide, you know. But what's going to happen is you know, I'm just going to jump around a little bit. It gets a little old when you just do the same part for hours upon hours. We'll hit this beaver tail for a little bit, and we'll see what we can make of it. Okay, so I'm going to jump over here to the magwell. I want everybody to see something though, so they don't think I'm hallucinating. Can you see all the marks? So this is why people glass bead firearms. Look at that. So now the whole objective is not just taking off the glass beading, but taking the metal far enough down that all those marks come out. There's still some more marks in there, but we're getting there. So 220 is definitely the paper that we're going to need. I don't want to bore anybody, but you know, I'll get this done and we'll just keep moving on. That's all it comes down to. But these surfaces have to be 220 400, 600, 800, 1,000, and we just got to go through the whole gamut of paper, all right, before we bring this to the polishing wheel. So here we go. So there's no easy parts on this pistol. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the next day. I've been really busy. So I want to go over and I want to show you guys some things because there is a reason why you're going to want this 1911, okay? And the main reason is that it's just not going to be just any ordinary stainless gun. So we're going to go slow and we're going to look. And if you look at the bottom of the hammer, you can see just little things here, how it's a little dull right there. Okay, now we did this gun. I'm proud of this gun, but we're going to take this even to a higher level so that every angle of everything that you see is going to be polished. So now when you look, I continued and did all the way to the back of the hammer. Now there's another thing. Look at the side of the hammer and look at the side of this hammer. Now there's fingerprints on these and dust on here and polishing compounds on these. Okay, but then again, now we went to a higher level and look at the inside. Look at it. I polished the inside of the hammer. Okay, so here's the factory magazine. And if you notice, the very, very bottom of the frame, it's still got its surface on it. The magazine has still got the original surface on it. Okay, and this is plastic. And I want you guys to look at the mainspring housing. Look at this. It's plastic. So when you're looking at this beautiful gun, it just doesn't go. Okay, so now what we're doing here on this particular gun is polished the magazine. And again, everything has to be finaled here. There's fingerprints on them. There is some very light marks on them. But I want everybody to see, though, that we polished it. Okay, guys, so now that we're throwing in some new parts, I want you guys to see this. Check this out. And again, we're not done polishing the frame on this gun. Even polished the screw. I polished the top of the mag well. And the reason being is because, look, all right, let's just line the holes approximately. Look, you're still going to see all of the top of the mag well here. All this is going to be polished. This gun's going to look sick. Now look at this. Look at the trigger. So now instead of having a black trigger, now we're going to have a polished stainless trigger also. So all the pins, everything are polished. Look at this. I even did the inside of the pin. And the reason why? Here you can see the casting on the inside of that pin. Look at that. All right, so even the firing pin stop, I want you guys to see this also. So when you look over here, you see a number 1 on top of the hammer. Well, when I look in here, I'm looking in here and I'm seeing, flat stainless. So what I also did is I took it and I polished it. So that'll probably be it with all the extras. I just wanted to show you, like, I'm not discounting my work on this 1911, but I'm just wanting everybody to know that, it's like you can go as crazy as you want. Like if I was to do, like for this service here, I'm going to spend 3 to 4 days doing all the metal prep and polishing. It's a lot. But guys, I'm going to get to work. Stay along for the ride, and our videographer is just going to keep doing his thing. This is a 320 grit, but if you look at this, that is deep. This being that deep, I'm going to go and jump down to 220, which I've done so many times already, because the 320 is a little too fine to be taking off this. I need something to just to take it off. I'm happy with that. Actually, I'm not happy with that because there's still some pitting in there. Sometimes, like, you can't get it out. Like, sometimes the further down you go, the bigger the holes actually get, okay? Because this is a casted part. So we'll do our best. I think that looks pretty good. Now we'll go back to the 320, and the purpose of this is so that what we're going to be doing is getting us down to where we can polish it. So we just want to get it smoother and smoother. Then we're going to go to 400. Then we'll go to 600. And as I'm doing it, it's getting smoother and smoother. I can feel it. Now we'll go 800. I'm taking the time to show you guys this. Everyone needs to know this has to get done, this process, to the entire pistol. I probably have, in this part alone, I probably have 3 hours. But now I'm gonna go to the polishing room. I'm gonna just hit this and we'll see what it looks like. I'm probably gonna have to come back to paper. Just hang out, enjoy, watch what I'm doing. Pistol's not going anywhere anytime soon, so I have a lot to do on it, so just enjoy. So let's just go hit this little area. Let's see what's left that I have to do. So remember the cluster that I showed you earlier of the pitting? Well, look right there. It's still going down deeper. So now I got to go back, paper this all out again, and I need to get that cluster of porousness out of the part. So now I have to go back and hit this with 220 again and make sure that that comes out, because it just seems like it's getting deeper and deeper. It looks like it's out. I see a couple more in there still. In these casted parts, it's impossible to get everything. We're taking the time to show you on this one part. Of course, we're not going to do this on every part because this video would be 4 days long. Let's go 600. Let's go 800, and let's go back to the wheel again. On a round curved part like this, we don't need to go up to 3000 grit, but rest assured on the frame and on the slide, we are gonna have to. Okay, let's go back in. That is looking good. Now we can finally say that this part is done. We're gonna start on the frame right now. I got 320 grit, so let's just see what that does. This is feeling pretty good. I think I'm working with the right grit here. If you guys notice, I'm using a wider stick here so we don't put any waves in it. The objective of this is to block it, to make it really nice and flat. The stick is completely against the side of the frame, and I'm just going back and forth. One thing about doing this is that people think that we're rounding corners and things like that. We're actually, by me blocking this, it's like blocking a car. I can see all the lows. There's lows around the holes. There's lows around this hole here. I can see that. Okay, so by us blocking this and doing what we're doing, we're actually making this flatter and more appealing. I'll go in all different directions, making sure that we're getting out all the marks that were in there originally. A lot of people polishing guns like this would only be doing the areas that could be seen. Not me. We're polishing the whole gun. This is looking good. So now when you look at this side, you can see all the lines in here. Okay, so now when I flip it back again, the lines are they're going away, and that's the objective. So let's just go up to 400 right now. I want you guys to know that when we go over all this factory lettering, this is deep, and this is fine. So we're not damaging any. Now I want to show you guys something. We're going to go back to the polishing room. So this is 400 grit, right? So I want you to see why we have to go so high in the grit. I'm going to hit this with the wheel, and then you can definitely see all the marks. So let's just do that, okay? So let's go inside, let's wipe this down, and then you're going to be able to see why we have to go up in paper. Here you go. So you think you're getting somewhere, like you really do, like you think you're getting somewhere, and that's 400 grit. And what do you see in that entire area, sanding lines. That's why we got to keep taking this up and up and up to when we sand this, there are absolutely no more lines left in the metal. All right, guys, enough with the lessons on this. I guess I'm just trying to teach everyone and letting everybody see what it does take to do any gun. Out of all these guns we're doing, like every firearm that we do has its own struggles. And that's fine. That's what we get paid for. I just wanted everybody to see on this 1911 what we're dealing with, what we're going through, how nice it's gonna be. But enough talking. Just want to teach you, and let me get back to work. I have a lot of work to do. Okay, guys, we made really good headway on the frame. I'm gonna lay the frame down for a little while, and I'm gonna pick up the slide now. I like to kind of do some certain, do different parts and maybe come back, because sometimes it gets a little redundant just spending hours on the same part. So here we go. We have our slide here, and this is pretty self-explanatory. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna take all the glass beading off of here and polish this. What I'm going to do, and be very careful, is that I'm going to take all the glass beading off of here, and I'm going to polish this too, because I just want it to look really nice and flow. All right, because if you look at it from the side, there's a counter lip. Okay, excuse my hands, I'm filthy, but there's a counter lip from this part to this part. So when you're looking at it, when it's sitting and you happen to turn it to the side, the gun, or if the gun's laying down like this, I want the bottom of the slide to be done also. Of course, we're going to do the whole back polished, and we're going to do the muzzle area. We're going to get started on this right now. We're finally getting somewhere, and we're on to the slide. I'm moving this a lot so I don't get any flat spots. I've done this enough to know. So we are right now at about 2,000 grit on this right now. Some parts 3,000. If you can look underneath, you can see how shiny all this is. We did a lot of these areas. These little wells in here, they're pretty hard to do because you want to keep all your lines really sharp still. You see how the lines are very, very sharp. What we're going to do is we're going to jump up to 5,000 grit. I mean, we're really going to go for it. And on the slide, same thing. We're going to go up to 5,000 grit on here. We also, what we did different from the other 1911 is that we high polished all the ejection port area in here. And we'll show you that again when the gun's clean. Right now there's a lot of compounds in here. Everything will be polished. So let's get on with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and it's a lot different than when I first started, because we started at 220 grit. Like here's a 220 and here's a 5,000, just to look at the difference, okay, to get all the glass beading off. So what we're doing here is we're making sure that we have all marks out of the metal. And if you look at this, if you look at it in the light, it's already basically shiny already. We're not worried about the lettering because this is so fine that it's just doing nothing but just shining it up. The objective for going as high as we go is get that ultimate shine and to get parts flat so there's no waving, so they look amazing. I keep switching directions, making sure that we're getting every micro scratch out that we can. So in order to do a pistol like this, of course we need to keep these videos short, but to do a gun like this is probably 3.5, probably 4 days, I would say. Just hands-on. Pretty shiny for not being polished yet. All right, so I think we're gonna go on to the frame now. Let's go over with the 5,000. The purpose of using this 5,000, again, like over here, is when I'm looking in here, I can still see a couple of very, very light sanding marks, which you guys will probably never be able to see, but I want to get those out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the opposite direction. And again, it may look like I'm making it worse before it gets better, but all I'm doing is just taking this and getting all the micro scratches out right now. This is working really good. I can see all these very, very light scratches coming out. All right, everybody, so I believe that what I'm going to do now is spend a few hours in the polishing room, and then after I polish it, I'll look through the metal and see if I have to come back and touch anything up. So I think we're looking really, really good. Let's get into the polishing room and let's get some work done. Now we're gonna see just how good our work is. This is why we do hours of metal prep, so that when we come to the buffing wheel, we can just take this and make this look like a mirror. And again, I'm not rounding off any edges or anything like that because the metal work has been done already. Let's look at the back, see the back looks. Look at that, huh? So I'm just showing you guys some different spots right now. I'm not going to sit here and polish this whole thing, you'll get bored. But if you guys can see how absolutely beautiful that is. I know that's what everybody wants to see. The side of the frame now, which is the hardest part. The flats are always the hardest. Alright everybody, I just wanted to give you a little preview of what I'll be doing here. Just going to sit here and just keep going every different direction possible to get all the micro scratches out. I may have to go back to the bench again and take out some other light scratches, but this is where I'm going to be for the day, so enjoy the video. Okay, so it's day 4 and we are going to get ready to assemble the 1911 finally. Let me tell you, we have polished and sanded and I am so happy that today is here. So I think we're going to start with the slide first and let's do the assembly. I want everyone to see, and I'm really happy that we can compare. So you can see number 1 on the left side, and then the number 1 on the right side is not polished. So that's just another little step we took to enhance it. So now we have over here our grip studs. What I wanted to do was just put as much brightness into this pistol as possible. So we just took the blued ones out and we are going to put the polished stainless ones that I had in inventory in. We're going to start these by hand so we don't cross thread anything. Look how nice that looks. Just little touches. Time for the internals. There we go, just like that. Alright, so we're going to put the hammer in now. Let's take this, go right up to the top hole, drop this pin in. So now when you're looking back here, everything in the back is polished. Here we go. Alright, we're going to put the spring in. Push this in just partial. Okay. Okay, there we go. So what I decided to do was polish the magazine also. There we go. Kind of a pain in the neck, guys, but there we go. Okay, let's put this bad boy together. Wow, this is looking amazing. Let's do another wipe down again. I have to keep looking at it. So it's just more and more bling as we're going here, guys. It's just getting me so excited. Look at this. Everything on this pistol is polished. Look at this. Like, look at the barrel. The ejection port area right here. Look at that. want everybody to know that I had a really good time doing this gun. It's a lot harder than a revolver because there's a lot of flats. The flats, like I always say, are the hardest to do. And making sure that this is sanded. We had to sand up to 5,000 grit on here to get this finish. So from 220 to 5,000 is a lot of paper. 4 days to do this. Let's put this mag in. And let's do a wipe on here. And let's see what this thing looks like, okay guys? Because right now, I am in my glory looking at this. Wow. Look at this. And I'm not knocking my work from the last one that I did here, but I just wanted everybody to have the nicest bright stainless 1911 that they could possibly have. This is so nice, I hate to even get rid of it. I'd like to keep it for myself. This is going to be something that someone could wear gloves with when they're showing their friends, or shoot it and bring it back home and polish it again with some hand polish or so on. The trigger really enhances it a lot. Look at the back. If you guys notice, the one that we just did, it's shinier. There's more polishing done in the back end here. The name of our shop is The Custom Shop. We're located right here in Hamilton, Montana. We have a YouTube channel, which I'm loving that you guys are watching, calling The Gunfather Restorations. That was the name of our TV show. And this is the kind of work that we're putting out on a weekly basis. So I'm back here with our gunsmiths, and we're working on these guns to make them beautiful for you guys. I want to thank everybody for watching our YouTube channel, The Gunfather Restoration. We really enjoy doing these videos. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll keep putting out killer videos.